For the past 6-ish years, I've viewed and lived life in an entrepreneurial way. To achieve what I want, I must take action, be consistent, and work hard. To get the most out of life, I have to make shit happen for myself and not depend on other people and external factors. I have to implement extreme accountability and responsibility for my ups and downs. These are the sort of things you will hear when watching a YouTube video about achieving goals. This is very Westernish, very American dream type shit, which is not wrong, I'm just saying, because this shit does work. However, I want to propose a different way of living and viewing life. If I want to really explain this properly, I have to use this book I read, The Surrender Experiment: My Journey into Life's Perfection by Michael A. Singer. In this book, Singer simply just tells us his life story, how he started a spiritual community, how he became a software CEO, company owner of a multi-billion-dollar company, which is insane, and most importantly, how he surrendered to life with the help of meditation, of course, because meditation is OP when you do it right. I know, surrendering to life sounds a bit... Well, how the fuck do you surrender to life? And why would you surrender to life? Life is random and fair at times. Why would you even consider doing this? Well, Singer started his journey by desiring to silence the inner voice in his head. He attempts to do this through meditation, and later on he implements the surrender experiment. This is how Singer explains it. At the heart of the experiment is a simple question. Am I better off making up an alternate reality in my mind than fighting with reality to make it be my way? Or am I better off letting go of what I want and serving the same forces of reality that managed to create the entire perfection of the universe around me? This experiment would not be about dropping out of life, it would be about leaping into life to live in a place where we are no longer controlled by our personal fears and desires. For lack of a better name, I have called this the surrender experiment. After reading that shit, I want to try that too. That's how I felt when I first read that passage and when I first read this book. Singer wanted to let go of his preferences, biases, desires, and decisions. He let life call the shots in his life instead of letting his wants and needs interfere. I know this sounds simple, but let's think about this. Let's say in your life, a not so close friend asks you to hang out or do something, but you don't really want to. In this experiment, if you are really surrendering to life, you would accept the offer because you have to leave behind your preferences and biases. I will mention he didn't completely detach from internal desires. For example, he became a software developer by encountering an early version of the computer in a store, and he became massively interested in it. That interest led him to become the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. This model of living is not about completely closing off your interests and desires. It is a mixture of both. Surrendering to life while having your desires, working with life rather than against it. As Singer said, the practice of surrender was actually done in two very distinct steps. First, you let go of the personal reactions of like and dislike that form inside your mind and your heart. And second, with the resultant sense of clarity, you simply look to see what is being asked of you by the situation unfolding in front of you. Early in the book, Singer repeatedly stated that all he desired was to concentrate on meditation so he could completely get rid of his inner voice. That's all he wanted. However, once he started to implement the surrender experiment, he started to go against this desire because things came up. People asked him to do shit and he had to say yes, and other opportunities came about and he had to accept them. These things were not all aligned with meditation, but he had to surrender. But also he did learn through all of these multiple things coming up that his goal of reaching internal peace isn't just through meditation, it's through going through experiences and being at peace in whatever situation you are in. It's easy to be at peace when you're in the woods alone meditating. That's pretty easy, but it's much harder to be at peace in the face of the FBI investigating your company that you've been building for 15 years. And Singer still found peace in this situation. I just kept letting go and practicing non-resistance, whether I liked what was happening or not. Honestly, the things that happened in this book through surrendering were beautiful. It seemed like life lined up everything perfectly for him, but it was simply that whatever was put in front of him, he embraced it and he made something out of every situation. Clearly, this is a much different way of living compared to the take action, work hard, be consistent, have a schedule way of living. This way of living has a sense of unity to it. It's not you versus life, it's you and life working together. Most of us view life as hard, unfair, and cruel, and in some aspects, these are very justifiable things to describe life. However, maybe, just maybe, if we align ourselves with life and work with it, the result would be peace. The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer is a beautifully mind-opening book, and please read this book. You will not regret it.